Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Jack, and this is Log Cabin Firewood. If you watched last week's video from the Paul Bunyan Show, you saw I got a few goodies for my chainsaw. The chainsaw vise, new bar. Today, we are going to attack the rakers, sharpen my chain, and build this little chainsaw vise that I got from Chris in the woodyard. Stick around. So like I mentioned before, one of the best parts about going to these shows is getting to meet all the awesome people from YouTube, as well as the subscribers and channel members. But we got a ton of stickers. I got some new things to help me out on my tailgate and for the 500i. Check it out. We got one of the Tsumura bars. I did not know that they made these for the 500i, but apparently they do. It's one of the light bars, so I'm excited about trying this one out. My buddy Matt over at Firewood on the Hill, they got some new hats and shirts. They've got new gear out. Make sure you go check them out on YouTube, Firewood on the Hill. I got to meet him and his wife Sadie. That was awesome. Matt was one of the first channels I started watching besides this guy right here. He was the originator. He's who originally got me into watching these channels, but then it was Firewood on the Hill. It was really cool to meet him and get a hat from him. But since we're here at this, I don't know if you guys watched a couple weeks ago, Chris had mentioned he was making some cool things. So I got one of his chainsaw vices. I could mount this to a board, and then I'll have a tailgate mount for my chainsaw. I had mentioned before I wanted to make one of these. I still might, but Bert made these. Bert helps him out on his channel a lot. And Bert, you did an awesome job. This thing looks super cool. But yeah, we got that from in the woodyard. Buck and Billy Ray's crew gave me this. This is that biodegradable oil they were talking about. I'll check it out. It's the bar oil. We'll see how it works. Got to meet Mr. Mike over at K&L Firewood. And he did a very drunken interview with me. Mike, I apologize for that. Got to meet Mr. Brent over at Around the Yard. Go show him some love. Him and I hung out pretty much most of the weekend, walking around, talking to people, talking to each other. Hammerhead Attachments. Met these guys. They were staying at our hotel. They've got a bunch of cool, tractor and skid loader attachments. I think they're going to be featured on some channels here soon. Don't know exactly, but I heard some talks about it. So, keep these guys in mind. New England Pine. That is who I got this Tsumura bar from. Those guys were awesome to chat with. Good old Easton made. This was from my buddies Patty and Jeff over at Mountaintop Outdoors. This has been at Brad's house for a couple months now, but I finally got my big Easton made splitter sticker. Got to meet Phil and Karen over at Allen Family Firewood. It was super cool to see that they made the drive down. I wasn't sure if they were going to make it or not. His thumb's doing awesome. They're both doing awesome. It was great to meet you guys. Matt from Lily's Farm and Firewood showed up too. He made the trip. He was asking a couple days before about if there were any hotels anywhere. I'm pretty sure he drove from his house somewhere in Jersey all the way to Ohio in one night and then came back the same day. So kudos to you, brother. Glad you made it. It was awesome to meet you in person. S'mores. Got to meet Mr. Dana and his wife, but they were there. Got to meet them. Got a couple of their stickers. Club Dora, Outdoors and Firewood. Check them out on YouTube here soon. I got the Eddie beer koozie. Drink koozie. It doesn't have to be beer. What else do we got? Another K&L Firewood sticker. I got to meet Mr. Bobby Six Guns. That was awesome. I love watching his stuff. He's an awesome fabricator. He makes awesome videos. He's doing all kinds of cool stuff. Get on over and show him some love. Got to meet Mr. Dell within the backyard with Dell. I wasn't sure if he was going to be there either, but he's got a cool Firewood related YouTube channel, so go show him some love. Todd's outside again. Got his sticker. Got to meet him. We got F&S Premium Firewood, Denver, North Carolina. Oh, and as always, York Firewood, Mr. Ken and Mr. Danny. It's always a pleasure seeing those guys. Somebody threw this in my hand one day, and I didn't know that Brad made beard combs. It's pretty cool, man. I can actually like groom myself a little bit and think about firewood at the furnace. But I got another In the Woodyard sticker, and then the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ohio Woodburner. Got one of his stickers. But then I also got one of the Hardworking Man shirts. Heath and Rachel, I hung out with them all weekend. It's always a good time when those guys are around. We got some pretty cool stickers and gear. I have a pile of stickers upstairs as well from many other YouTube channels. I haven't forgot about you guys. I really just haven't had time to put them on my splitter and or conveyor. But it was cool that Chris and Bert brought those little chainsaw vices to the show. Saved them some shipping, saved myself some shipping. And it was also awesome to meet all of them. The whole In the Woodyard crew was there. And let me tell you, those boys from Wisconsin, they know how to bring the fun. They showed up to the Back 40 live stream Friday night, and they brought a ton of fun with them. Tony was there from Tony's Cool Tools, and like I said, the rest of the In the Woodyard crew. But it's awesome that I got this vise because I do have to do my rakers here soon on my saw. You can see in the back, this stuff over here, I cut this up this morning. I didn't record it, but I had to take that cord of wood over to local here and drop it off. I still need to get this stuff behind me here cut up, but I got to play with my rakers, do some sharpening. So we're going to see how that thing works. So Chris ran up to me at the Friday Night Live and said, "Hey, do you still want that vise?" Because I had emailed about this right when he talked about it. And he said that he and Bert were in the process of getting everything taken care of before Bunyan. But it came with the 2 screws. And that should be it right there. Let's see if it works. I like it already. There we go. Now the thing won't bounce around on me when I'm sharpening it. Pretty cool, guys. Good job, Bert. You did an awesome job on this one, buddy. All right, well, we've got our little vise installed on my 2x8. This was just a piece of 2x8 left over from when I redecked my old landscaping trailer. This chain, I have sharpened this thing probably, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times. And it's not pulling like I want it to. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through and sharpen all the teeth. They don't need much. I did hit the blacktop with these yesterday. I've already touched them up, but some of them need a little bit more touching. They don't have a corner on them. So we're going to get the Dremel. We'll hook that up, and I'll knock this out real quick, and then I'm going to play with the rakers. And yes, I do use a Dremel. I know there's a lot of purists out there that they would rather sit here and use a hand file. And if I had the time to sit there and play with a hand file, I know I could get a sharper edge on this chain, but these work. These are the 7/32 Oregon saw sharpening stones. Let's see, can you see that? There we go. And in true In the Woodyard fashion, that's where I learned this from, was Chris. I'm using his little tailgate vise, so we may as well use his stones. and his Dremel. But I will knock this out real quick. We will do the rakers, and then I will put that new bar on that we got. All right, well, now that that is done, let's see, do I remember how to use this thing? I had to go find my little instruction manual, and I had it right. I just remember, I couldn't remember which one I used, but I used the 35 thousandths, which is the, I guess, the second most aggressive one on here. I don't know, it starts at 25 thousandths and then goes anywhere from to 50 thousandths plus. I'm not playing with 50 thousandths. But play with some rakers real quick. Well, all right. Now that we have the rakers adjusted and the teeth sharpened on this, I'm going to break this saw down and put this Tsumura bar on here. And I'll show you how I clean my saw. First thing I'm going to do is remove this existing bar and chain, and we'll start tearing the saw apart, and I'll use my air compressor to blow off the dust and chips and things that have accumulated in here. I will be honest with you, I have kind of neglected cleaning this thing, which isn't recommended. I normally try to clean this after every use, but I have been very busy with work, and we went to that show, and like you can see, there's a good bit in there. It's not really bad though. I'll take the little scrunch and knock off some of the big stuff. I have opted to get the Tsumura bar. This is a 24-inch, or as Stihl calls it, the 25. I noticed the other day when I was unboxing this and looking at it that it has grease points on the front nose sprocket. Now, I did do a little bit of homework. Some people do like to grease these. Some people run them dry and say that there's enough bar oil that your saw will produce on the chain for these to work sufficiently. I, however, am going to grease it. I do have the Oregon little, I guess, needle greaser. I guess that's what you'd call that. So we're gonna put some of that in here. Let me know in the comments. You guys grease your bars if they have grease ports? Or do you just, roll with it? And I'm just going to put one in each side and see if that works. Oh, look, it did work. There's plenty in there. I feel like that's too much. We're gonna get a rag and wipe that off. So I don't think these need to have that much grease in them. Yes, grease makes things last, but grease can also attract a lot of dirt and dust. We don't want that to happen. So let me wipe a good bit of this off. So I think maybe one squirt on one side will be sufficient the next time I do this. But this is the Tsumura light bar. I ended up picking this up for 115 bucks, I think it was. Stihl's version of these light bars is like 180. So I got a decent deal, I feel. And it was also the last day of the show. I don't know what they were all weekend, if they were cheaper. I have never ran a light bar, so this is going to be new for me. It feels a lot lighter already, just, you know, handling it. Uh-oh. Sometimes I can get these the first time. Other times they make a fool out of me, just like they're doing now. There we go. Touchdown. Cowboys. Awesome. Now when I tighten these up, let's see here. I will go this way so you can kind of see. I always get these on and lined up with the chain tensioner, and I just tighten them up a little bit so there's not as much slack in here. And I'm not going to tighten it up all the way until I get the clutch cover on there. But that way, there's not that much more adjustments you have to do when you get your clutch cover on. Definitely make sure everything's lined up before you get the clutch cover on though. Nope, I'm still not lined up. I can't do this backwards, guys. There we go. Now we're in there. And I just snug it up a little bit. I also just noticed my sprocket in here is starting to show some wear on it. I'm probably going to order a couple more of those, and maybe I'll show you how to replace one of those. It's super easy. Saw definitely looks cooler with a nice light bar on it though. I pick up on the bar, I pull the slack out, I come over, and I tighten it up until it touches. This bar is super dry too. I can't wait to fire this thing up and get some bar oil on it. Actually might be a little too tight. We'll run it and check it out though. Actually no, I'm gonna loosen it up just a tad. We'll probably have to stop halfway between the first tank though, because these they'll start stretching. Brand new chains always stretch. So I'll run a little bit through there and we'll just have to stop and give her a little tightening. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. But I have a little bit of oak over here. I'm going to try and get that started. I do have the Saker mini chainsaw I'm going to try out. I did use it a few days ago off camera. It does work with my measuring device, with my homemade one. The one that Brad over at Firewood at the furnace showed me how to make. So we'll get that set up. I'll show you marking out some logs over here with the Saker mini chainsaw, and then we'll fire this bad boy up and cut some oak up. Here we go. So we did get the my little measuring device on the Saker mini chainsaw. It does fit. It's very tight, so you've got to be careful if you're going to do this. I still am going to try and get the 6-inch one to see if it fits any better, but this is perfect for marking stuff out. I could go through here and have everything laid out, and then I can just fire up my big saw and go to town. I really like it for this. This is the whole reason I said yes to Saker, really, because I wanted to try this out because I've seen a lot of other people use the marking device for firewood. Now, if you don't do firewood, you know, it does work for other things. but I really like this thing. Saker, thank you. Remember, you guys can win one of these at 1,000 subscribers. Pay attention to that video. I definitely like my rakers. Set them to 35 thousandths, and it's a nice sharp chain. And I really like this Tsumura bar, the 24-inch light. This thing's rocking. I can definitely feel a difference in the saw. It's very subtle, but like, I don't know, the saw just feels way more balanced having a light bar on it. There is a bunch of cookies in here. There's a bunch of good wood also. I'm gonna get the good stuff stacked up and out of my way so I stop tripping over it. And I should be able to get these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 pieces finished, bucked up tonight. A good friend of mine, Zach, his uncle is taking some trees down on his property, a bunch of trees. And he called me the other day and was like, hey Jack, you know, if you want some of this stuff, my uncle wants it gone. And I like gone, that's a good word. But it is in another county, and I have to pay a toll to get back into my county. And with a trailer, it's 28 bucks, I think, 26 or 28 bucks. It's ridiculous. So we're gonna try and get the good old Kaufman trailer completely full in rounds, or you know, tight stacked logs. I should be able to get about a cord, or maybe a little bit over a cord. It's all locust and cherry. It's good stuff. But let's go ahead and get these rounds moved, and we'll get fired back up and try and get this stuff done before it gets dark. Whew. It definitely sucks that it's getting darker out earlier and earlier. This camera really doesn't do justice to how dark it is. But the light's coming on when I walk near it now. She's getting dark. But we got this this load of oak. This was the second dump trailer load of oak. Got it cut up. I'm probably not going to get it stacked up tonight. I am going to hook up my trailer and get my saws ready. That way I'm going to haul my truck and trailer to work and head right over to my buddy's house after work and hopefully get a load of locust and cherry. I will bring you guys along for that one. But that is going to be it for right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're getting very close to 1,000 subs. Don't forget that you can win some cool things once we get to 1,000 subs. I got some pretty cool ideas. Some barter items are coming into play for this 1,000 sub giveaway. So if you're into bartering, you might want to check this one out. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you watching so much. This means the world to me. Take care of each other, and I will see you here next Saturday, 6:30 a.m. See ya.